So at the top of last night's show, we talked about a story that appears to be rapidly escalating and getting weirder and weirder each day now. It concerns the question of whether Donald Trump has now allowed his top campaign donor, Elon Musk, to start using armed force, physical force, against governmental or even non-governmental entities that Musk is trying to dismantle. The U.S. Institute for Peace was created by Congress during the Reagan administration. Officially, it's an independent nonprofit. It's not officially part of the U.S. government. Some of Elon Musk's Doge people came to the Institute of Peace on Friday. They had FBI agents with them for some reason. They were refused entry, but then afterwards, a lawyer for the Institute told the New York Times that over the weekend, quote, the FBI threatened Institute employees over the lack of access to the building. She says the DC U.S. Attorney's Office got involved on Sunday night. The chief of the criminal division at the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. demanded access to the Institute's, quote, books and records. Quote, when the Institute resisted, he threatened a criminal investigation. We've asked the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office for comment. We have not yet heard back. So that was Friday, and then over the weekend, then yesterday, Monday, Doge people arrived back at the U.S. Institute of Peace, quote, in a black SUV with government plates, escorted by what appeared to be private security who arrived in separate vehicles and were dressed in street clothing. Again, this institute is not a government agency. It's an independent nonprofit. Even its building is not a federal building. It's owned and operated by this institute. So, I mean, if someone was trying to break into your home or break into your office, what would you do? The Institute did that. They called the cops. They called the police. The DC police showed up. And then the DC police escorted the Doge team into the building and kicked out the Institute's staff. What? The DC police put out this statement today saying that yesterday they were contacted by the U.S. Attorney's Office, who told them that the Doge people were the rightful leaders of the U.S. Institute of Peace and that the Institute's staff inside the building were unauthorized and refusing to leave. The Institute of Peace people then called the police to protect their building from Doge trying to break into it. Instead, the police helped evict them and let Doge in. We have previously talked about Doge invoking the U.S. Marshals. Now, apparently, they're using FBI agents and the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office, some private security maybe, and now the D.C. police. They're bringing all of this armed force to bear on what they're doing, which is arguably illegal. There was one other branch of government on the scene last night as all this was going down at the Institute. A member of Congress showed up to try to understand what was happening and do what he could. That member of Congress joins us live here next.